Hey there, what's up? Today we're going to be talking about the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel and how that compares to my previous experience at the Anaheim, California Disneyland Hotel. I am very lucky that I've gotten to experience both of these theme parks as well as their hotels. My trip to the Disneyland California Hotel was in the summer of 2022, so just over a year ago. My trip to the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel was much more recent. It was in September of 2023. So that's one thing to keep in mind. If you see any construction in the background of my Disneyland shots, a lot of that probably has wrapped up by now. We're going to be talking some about the similarities and differences between the two hotels. One of my favorite things was the breakfast buffets that I got to try at both. The Storytellers Cafe is in a adjacent hotel in downtown Disney when it comes to California, whereas Tokyo Disneyland, it's in the Tokyo Disneyland Hotel. We are also going to talk about our views from our two different rooms, which were quite different, but both very spectacular. But there's nothing that compares to the room that came with our standard Tokyo Disneyland Hotel. So thanks for being here. This is a really special experience that not everybody gets to have, so I wanted to show what it was like for me. My name's Mads. I've always been located in Southern California. I go on adventures with my partner, Robert. We do a whole bunch of different things. We are Disney adults, we must admit.
One can save them.
Copy. Understood. Enjoy the day.
No one.
We met a few years ago when we were both in a theater troupe called Toten Dance, which is a dance macabre group at a small permanent Ren Fair site in Southern California called Coronaburg. But we go on a lot of different adventures. We like to attend things like Wasteland, which unfortunately we missed this year because we were in Japan. Totally worth it, but we'll make up for it next year. Robert's been my support role and a lot of the times my videographer, photographer when we go on trips, so thank you to him for helping with all these projects. For me personally, Disneyland's always been a really big part of my life, but for the last 2 years, and impacting why we ended up being able to afford to go to the Disneyland Hotel, is that I had a cast member discount. I was a ride operator for 2 years. It was so much fun. I loved that job, and it's also what inspired us to go out of our way to go to Tokyo Disneyland. You might have noticed this little ball of fluff. This is Soju. She is adorable, but she does not get to come with us to Disneyland. Sorry, pupper. Maybe in another life. But that's okay. She'll get to come on other adventures with us. The first part of our adventure is going to be California Anaheim 2022. We decided to get a hotel for a couple of nights to celebrate my partner's birthday. We stayed 2 nights in the hotel, enjoyed the pool, and then we went into the theme park the next day. I suggest you do it the other way around. It's a relaxing hotel and we were exhausted. Ah, the infamous Disneyland Hotel headboards. It's much prettier at night, so, but that was pretty cool. A lot of other cast members told me about that. They're like, oh, you're staying in the hotel? Have to play with the headboard. I had no idea what they were talking about. Let's go on a real quick room tour of the Anaheim hotel room. How's it going there? They had some pretty interesting themed fixtures. That was a really fun touch, but it's quite different from Tokyo. You'll see in a little bit. Now, I am a sucker for baths. I love a good bath. A thing about Disneyland that applied to both the bathtubs and the pools is it's kind of limited on how deep the water can get. It's just the way everything's designed there. So I don't know, 7 out of 10 bath when it comes to the Disneyland hotel room, if that matters to you. About average closet space, I think they were comparable in both hotels. Have one of those little stands for your luggage. I like the kind of little walk-in nature of the bathroom closet area. Super cute carpet in the hotel, pretty cute lampshades, pretty cute lighting fixtures throughout the hotel. The bed was the piece de la resistance though. Like, even though there's these cute lamps and everything, like the bed was just so comfortable. Here's what our view looked like. We did upgrade our room. We had used the special cast member discount to get a basic room, and then when we were there, we just kind of talked about upgrading, and I spent a little bit more than I should have. So the hotel overall was pretty comfortable. The fixtures really made it fun, and the bed was really nice. These little touches, like the way the screen said our names and was playing music when we first came in, was a really, really nice touch. I would give this hotel a solid, 7.8 out of 10. Cute fixtures, really neat to experience it. I don't need to come back though. I definitely experienced the thing from my childhood that I felt was deprived from me. I would see the Disneyland Hotel Pool from the monorail, and I wanted to go so badly. And I remember I think my father just casually said to me at some point, like, oh, that's for tourists. Locals don't stay in the hotel, so we just don't get to go. So for me, I just really wanted to go spend time in this pool. They have a really, really cool water slide that looks like a monorail, but most of the bodies of water are only 3 feet deep. So I spent a lot of time sunning and drinking some poolside beverages. The Disneyland Hotel is right next to the Trader Sam's bar, which is one of the most popular places to get drinks at the Disneyland Resort. The slides themselves are probably a 6 out of 10. Like, they were kind of fun. I was really cold standing up there though, waiting my turn in line with all these little kids. We loved the bed so much that we looked up what type of pillows they used, and now I have 2 on my bed. It was hard to pull ourselves away, but eventually we did.
Oh my god, it's on fire! Oh my god!
There were a couple shopping areas in the hotel, as well as the gym. When I went down early to go check out the gym one morning, I found this little sign that had a canoe on it, and I got very excited because, as we mentioned, the canoes mean a lot to me. We also went inside Trader Sam's at one point. We met up with some friends, got some drinks. Again, it was for Robert's birthday, so they have an inside area and an outside viewing area. I highly suggest going inside. There's a lot of fun effects that the bartenders get to do. After our drinks, we went back to the hotel room, relaxed on the comfortable bed, and watched sumo on Twitch, because that's just kind of been what I do for fun lately. We'll come back around to that in a non-Disney video very soon. The next morning, we went down to the Storytellers Cafe, which is in a different hotel. It's inside the Grand Californian, on the other side of the downtown Disney shopping center. It's a little bit of a walk, and it's also a little bit expensive, but I got to hang out with Mickey Mouse, and that made me cry a little bit, so it was worth it. The hotel was very relaxing, and we wanted to stay and just hang out, but how can you go to the Disneyland Resort and not go inside the theme park, especially when you're 2 giant Star Wars nerds and Batu is right there? So we got Robert his birthday button, and then made a beeline to the most important place inside Disneyland, Oga's Cantina, where my buddy Rex is the DJ. We had a really fun time hanging outside the theme parks. We were just really exhausted when we went back to work the next day. At the end of the night, we stopped by the Hearthstone Lounge inside the Grand Californian Hotel, same place where that morning buffet was. And we checked out a few of the other shops in downtown Disney, like the Lego store, and got this giant, ridiculous sundae. Overall, it was a pretty fun experience. It was very pricey, but I might suggest it if you really want to come down to California. But now we're going to move on to the really exciting part, Tokyo Disneyland. I was so excited for this trip, I could not sleep, and even when I got there, I could not rest. I was just too excited. We did a half day in Disneyland while we stayed at a hotel called the Grand Nico Bay, which is nearby. It's on the monorail track. It's nowhere near as nice as either of the Disneyland hotels, though. It felt kind of Instagrammable, but not very comfortable. Tokyo Disneyland does have their own monorail system that goes outside of the theme parks. It's amazing. It is actually used for transport to get around outside of all the different hotels, which is really neat, but very different, whereas the California monorail is inside the theme parks. Here we go, the part you clicked on this video for, the Tokyo Disneyland room. It feels much more luxurious, it is much more put together, and the view was incredible. Honestly, it blew my mind the first time I saw it. We stood in front of this window for like 15 minutes just looking out at everything. They play this really beautiful music in the courtyard. You can watch everybody lining up in the morning. You could even see fireworks from your room. And poor Robert standing there off to the side. We were exhausted. We were so tired. And I made him stop everything so that I could film this room before we just collapsed into it. I loved the bathtub, especially compared to the California one. This tub was 11 out of 10. Love this bathroom. Really, really great. A lot of the fixtures were not necessarily themed when it came to lights and handles, like in the California one, but there was really pretty detailing. A lot of this Beauty and the Beast sort of themed stuff in the carpet and the furniture, which was just lovely. Here's my Pooh Bear that I collected at Disneyland, and he got me through some tough times. Almost a like Victoriana kind of vibe. It was almost a little too much for me. And it's also why we decided to go with this hotel over the Miracosta. I really wanted to go to the Discovery Hotel because they had canoe-themed amenities. The hotel was nowhere near as nice. There wasn't anything to do in that hotel other than like sleep and take the monorail into the theme parks. But here we go. We're gonna be checking out some of the really cute stuff that they had at the Disney Tokyo Hotel. I really liked it. I ended up holding on to a lot of these and giving them as gifts to other people. But they're not as cute as if they had a canoe on them, that's for sure. It was really just the exterior that was decorated to the hotel. Inside there's just a little pink toothbrush. Little toothpaste says Tokyo Disneyland Hotel on it, which is pretty cute. These tins are the best part. I will cherish them forever. Actually, I need to find a good use for them. Inside, very basic stuff. Just, you know, Q-tips, like Western style Q-tips, a hair tie. This hotel I would come back and stay at. For our trip, we ended up doing a vacation package, which was the most expensive part of our entire 2-week Japan exploration tour, but it was totally worth it. And honestly, I want to stay at the Miracosta Hotel now after having been to Disney Sea and seeing the views that some of those rooms have. And I just imagine watching a Disneyland show from your room, like not just fireworks, but like a full-on show. Really quick, let's just look at some of the details that were in this room. I mentioned earlier that it was sort of Beauty and the Beast themed. Really, really cute attention to detail. It's a lot more subtle than it was at the California Hotel, where it was a little more in your face, just Mickey hands and Mickey heads everywhere. This, if you looked closely, you'd notice that there were just very subtle patterns inside everything. I also loved this little nook. It was so comfortable, and it's where I laid out all of my merchandise throughout the trip. I feel like the hardest part was checking out early so that we could go get our breakfast that came with our vacation package, as well as heading into the park and utilizing our early access. I wanted to stay in that room so badly. It was so comfortable, and it was also so expensive. Let's move on to the breakfast, which was lovely.
Everything's so fancy.
This was actually the noisiest part of our entire trip to Japan. This was like the only time I heard a child scream. For the most part, everybody was so polite and well-behaved throughout all of Japan that this almost made me feel a little bit more at home because of how noisy it was. But everything was really, really lovely when it came to the food. The service was really, really good. I loved the interior. The like marble work on the floor was really, really nice. The fixtures were beautiful. So let me walk you around a little bit and try to show you a bit of the food. It was a little hard to film because I was doing my best not to film other people, and it was a little bit crowded in here. It was a little bit picked over at this point. I don't think it was near the end of breakfast, but just sort of one of those in-between times where it was hard to find some food. I really liked everything I had. I tried some really strange things, like a cantaloupe jelly. I tried, my favorite thing was the curry. I got myself a big bowl of curry. Watching these families with their kids was really, really cute. I loved my Mickey-shaped plate. I really hopped all over the place between sweets and the sort of food that my body needed to make it through an entire day at Disneyland. But overall, this buffet was really, really great. I'd give this buffet a 9 out of 10. I would come back and go to this buffet again, as compared to the one in California, which was pricey and was nice to try once, but not something I need to do every time I go to Disneyland. The buffet inside California Disneyland is great just to get like all the Mickey waffles you can eat, but here there seemed like there was a lot more themed food, which I really enjoyed, especially those little like Donald English muffins that are his little feet. Japan, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I love it. I'm here for it. Thank you, Japan. We went into Disneyland and we had a magical day. I'm gonna come out with a vlog on that one soon. Thank you very much for being here and checking these videos out. We had a wonderful time. In the future, there's going to be a new hotel called Fantasy Springs that's opening in 2024. Wouldn't it be lovely to check that out at some point? Don't see that happening, but you never know. I really love adventuring, and I love Disney adventures, but there's a lot more of the planet to go see. Thank you so much for checking out this comparison video. My time in Tokyo Disneyland was absolutely life-changing. So from my past self and my slightly less far back past self, thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed this video, or maybe learned something in case you're going to be doing your own Disney adventures soon. Please be safe out there, and I will see you again very soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.